Coach, asked Johnny about feeling like old times. Just talk a little bit about his performance today, just in his groove.
He obviously, I think he was very efficient, and we made a mistake, probably poor play call down there in the red zone. Linebacker didn't even move. But I thought there was some maturity shown on the scrambles, the ability to throw the ball away and not take big losses and throw the ball out of the back of the end zone and take care of the football in times that maybe last year he had just slung it up in the middle of the field. He threw one down the middle after we knew they had jumped off sides. But I thought, for the most part, our whole offensively, we punted once late in the game. What were we on third down? Conversion.
11 of 15.
11 of 15, and you count the last two possessions when, I thought he operated the offense efficiently. I thought the line was good, and it was good to get Brandon Williams back. And I think he's got a little rust on his game, but he knocked a little bit of it off, and he's got some real explosiveness that can help us. We'll get Trey Williams back this week. Kind of held him because of an ankle last week, but Trey Carson and Ben Molina have been very, very steady for us. And we've got some playmakers around Johnny, and I think he's you see him utilizing everybody. And Mike Evans, you can't take him for granted. He's a playmaker, and he's continuing to improve. So offensively, that's there's more to it than just him. We had some guys around him make some plays.
We'll go here in the middle and then over to the far right.
Coach, can you talk about the defense and how it's improved from last week to this week?
We had our moments. I think you look at about really 4 big plays. We can't do that, and we'll go back and watch the video and assess where we are. I know one in particular was a missed tackle, and we've got some guys that can be corrected. Had a guy jump out of a gap, a young guy, and get to the edge. They got to the edge on us. So, we've got to continue to keep coaching. And I think, the addition this week of having Jenkins back, Kirby told me at halftime he's a little rusty. He said he's glad he's playing. But, to get those guys all back in the huddle will be a big deal. Everybody sees the difference. DeShazier walks back out there, and all of a sudden we got he's very, very active. So the familiarity and the experience factor of those guys coming back is going to help our confidence as a defense, and a confidence in our coaches to be able to change some schemes and do some different things instead of being very, very vanilla, which we've been the last couple of weeks because of youth.
Okay, Gabe.
Coach, Mike Evans goes 7 for 155. Some wow moments out there. Is he just scratching the surface on how good he's going to be?
I don't know if he's scratching the surface. I think we've moved past that. I think he's playing pretty good. He played very well last year. Continued to improve. He's a playmaker, he's a big physical guy that plays as hard without the ball in his hands as he does when his number's called, and I think because of that, it's really an example for not just the receiving corps, because we got a bunch of young guys that watch him play without the ball and block, and it's also an example to this whole football team of the unselfishness that he plays with, and I think we've got guys like that on this football team, like he and Ben Molina offensively, what Ben does on special teams and running the ball. Same thing with some guys on defense, like Tony Hurd, all over the place on special teams, guys doing whatever it takes to try to help this team win. Those are great examples for every position.
Upper left here, Coach.
Coach, as far as Johnny goes, how pleased are you that we can actually focus tonight on his on-field play as opposed to his behavior?
Well, that's your problem.
Okay.
I've been focused on that all the time.
Very good. David Harris.
Kevin, I know you said during the fall camp that he was sometimes getting irritated because he had to stay in the pocket a little bit. Y'all are keeping him in the pocket. Have you seen him mature as a pocket passer a little bit?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've watched him in practice. He probably should have took off on the one where he's crossed the line. So, that comes with the position. Yeah, everybody's going to be critical. I'm probably more critical of him than anybody. internally, but you know it's part of his game. So yeah, I think he's getting more comfortable playing. You know, I said last week he was pressing. I think you saw some times today where there were some questionable things happening after the play that he walked away from, and you know that's going to happen. And we had that conversation last week about things that are going on the field, people saying stuff to him, taking shots. You know, we had a deal deep in the end zone, 8 yards deep, and you know, it's you know that's probably the way it is. Is that fair? Probably not, but that's where we are. And you know, I think all in all, you know, tonight our team handled a lot of different situations. And I'm pleased. There's a lot of learning going on out there for everybody, and you know it's always good. It's easier to teach. You're in a little bit of mood to teach. You know when you're winning.
Go back up to the left.
Coach, obviously the week ahead is going to be much anticipated, and there's going to be a lot of off-the-field things going on. What are you going to do to keep your team focused on the task at hand and just facing Alabama?
Same thing we always do.
Okay.
Which is, can you elaborate?
Nope.
There we go.
If you're around here a bunch, it ain't going to change.
There we go. Sam Conn over here to the right.
Floyd Raven didn't come back second half. What happened to him, and can you assess how the secondary played tonight?
He hurt a shoulder, collarbone. We'll see.
Okay.
You know, there's different times. You know, Otis is right there on the side, and guy makes a play for a touchdown. And whenever you have those big plays, first thing you start looking at is, you know, the back end. You know, because where is everybody? So I'll have to look at it on video. I think, you know, Floyd leaving the game early because obviously we put a lot into preparing him this week. And him being out of the game early in the game forced us to really get Clay Honeycutt back in there and do some things that we really didn't want to do. And so, you know, we'll see. I got to look at the video, but I'm sure we can improve. You know, and moving forward, I don't know what the situation with Floyd Raven will be, but you know, Clay Honeycutt's got a whole bunch of reps here the last 2 weeks, so. He needs to be ready to go. Well, no, not right now. No, I mean he's only played one game at this point at corner. So, you know he's and when he's in the game he's a definite impact guy. And so we got enough parts, but you know that's the way football is, and we've got to be able to adjust. As I said before, the problem comes when you don't have the pieces to put in there. We've got the pieces. They're just some of them are inexperienced, and we got to get them coached and get ready to go.
We'll go over here far right, Coach, and then Zach, you'll be next.
Hey, Coach, you've been asked on several occasions about Johnny and the pocket presence that he's gaining. Is he more comfortable throwing the ball on the run? Does he like that more?
I don't know. I think he's comfortable playing football, and you know he's been comfortable moving around and throwing. As I said last year, you know, we changed our philosophy a little bit with him and getting you on the move because he likes to do that. He is comfortable both ways. I think he's shown the ability to stand in there, and he's shown the ability to move around and throw it a little bit. So, you know, that's part of what makes our offense go, and the ability to move the pocket and move the rush point. I think it helps his ability to be able to helps his vision too, because he's not a very big guy.
Coach, can you talk about Kenny Hill's performance tonight and how important it is for him as a young player to get those reps, especially in front of a big crowd here at home?
Well, you guys, you see why. Again, everybody thought I was joking about the all the quarterbacks. You see why it's so close. Matt played very, very well a week ago for a half, very efficient, and Kenny obviously was extremely efficient in what he did tonight to come in the way he was right off the bench and you know, operate the way he did, operate the offense. Very, very confident young man, very, very comfortable in playing the game. And so, you know, I think it was important. Both those guys have earned the right to compete every week to see who the backup will be and get them experience is going to be key for us, not only this year but in the future.
Sam, last question, Coach Sumlin. We got 2 mics ready.
What time is it anyway?
I've got a little after 10.
10:05.
Right.
Tell us the kind of asset that Laquiviante Gonzalez has been so far, and also what Travis Labhart has done to get him up in the lineup.
Yeah, Laquiviante, Quiv as we call him, has got some real speed. You know, it's he showed some on some speed sweeps tonight. I thought he did a pretty good job in the kickoff return game. He's getting better, more comfortable. Instead of just running in the back of people, you know, he's actually looking to do some things, and he's got some home run speed. So, you know, we're getting him in the mix more and more. He hadn't really played receiver in high school, and that's what he's doing now. But he's got game-breaking type speed, and he's a guy that not very big, but you know, he utilizes. We have to utilize his speed because he can help us, you know, as a game breaker. Travis Labhart, obviously, I thought his decision making was pretty good back there. He's back there as our punt returner because he's demonstrated the ability for us to trust him deep. Made a nice catch during the game, a couple of them. You know, he's a guy who's worked like crazy and just a team favorite. Our team appreciates a guy like that who comes to work, you know, wasn't on scholarship, fought his way there, and obviously is reaping the rewards of all his hard work and helping us win. So, you know, I talked about it a couple weeks ago about the guys that we've put on scholarship since I've been here, and I think it gives our walk-on program credibility. That you know, guys that come here and do what we ask them to do, give them a chance to get on the field and perform. You know, they're guys that can help us win, can earn a scholarship, and you know, he's one of those guys.